This is Steve Arnold, and I'm at Exalead in Paris, France, and I'm speaking with François Bourdoncle, the founder of the company, and he's agreed to answer some questions about what's ahead for Exalead in 2011. Good afternoon, François. How are you?
Hi, Steve. How are you?
Well, I'm good. Let's jump right in. Why has keyword search become a problem for some users of information access systems?
Well, I think keyword search just doesn't work. It's too simple, too rudimentary, and people just don't know how to formulate questions. So I think now the question is how to help people find what they want and have systems a little more subtle and sophisticated than just keyword search.
Well, I know that you're now part of Dassault Systems, which is arguably one of the world's leading engineering and technology companies. What's the benefit of your being part of Dassault?
Well, I think it gives us, a greater visibility for the future of the technology of the company, as a whole, and more R&D muscle to, continue being ahead of the competition in terms of innovation. What we've always been, I think.
Well, that's very good. Now, in your opinion today, what do users in an organization need from their information access systems?
Well, they need to work, for one thing, and this is not trivial. They need the information system to be able to scale and swallow all the data that's available. This has been quite a bit of a challenge for our competitors lately. We've always pushed this idea that search engine had to be scalable, and a few years back, I remember people, arguing that it was not such a problem, that there was not that much of information in the enterprise. As it turns out, it's quite the contrary. There's loads of information in the enterprise, and people need very scalable systems. So we've built this infrastructure that is scalable at the core, and now serves as the foundation for writing applications, purpose-built applications, search-based applications on top of it. And this is a very sound and robust foundation. So people need systems that scale, for one thing, and then people need to have systems that make it easier for them to access and find the information that they need, digest the information, make it understandable. So this brings us closer to BI, I think, in a sense. We want information to be messaged in a way and be digestible by the users. And also we want to inverse the flow information, I think. Instead of having people go search for it, we want the information to come to them, and in such a way that it's easier to understand and applicable to a broader audience inside the enterprise. I think that's the biggest challenge that we face.
Well, I like that idea of the information coming to the user. Search has always seemed like guessing the secret combination to unlock what was in the index. And I know that your Cloud 360 system is used in many, many companies. But one thing I'm curious about, how do you fit into existing workflows and existing architectures in your client firms?
Well, the entire idea of building a search-based application is that it's a non-intrusive platform, meaning that instead of displacing, replacing, discarding, former systems, we integrate with them. So we have the proper connectors, the APIs, everything you can think of to deploy the platform next to legacy systems and have this platform interact with the legacy systems in a bidirectional way, so that you can actually make all the data stored into the legacy systems accessible through a very modern system, a search-based system.
François, you know that I track 300 companies that say they're in the search business. Yet you talk about search-enabled applications. Really, what is the difference in what you're doing here and these other 299 firms who say almost the same thing?
Well, I think that we're taking a platform approach as opposed to a solution or vertical approach. And this is very different. When you build a very vertical solution, then you have to do for your narrow application. You have to build the entire infrastructure stack just for this small application, and you end up normally with a solution that is very weak in terms of foundation and technology, and you don't really have the time to concentrate on your added value. We're taking the other path, saying, well, we're going to concentrate on the infrastructure. That's what we do best, and we're going to partner with value-added resellers, system integrators, you name it, or companies themselves, and they're going to build the application that is right for them using their legacy systems based on our foundation. So in effect, we're more competing with maybe database vendors than we are with traditional enterprise search vendors.
Well, that is quite a surprising difference. Now, I am mindful of the time. I mean, I know you're busy, and thank you for the time this afternoon. But I want to ask you, we have a lot of new vendors entering the market. Some of them are coming with open source technology. It's basically free. And we have established vendors like IBM and Microsoft and Oracle. And they are essentially proprietary companies, and they're starting to circle the wagons. Where do you fit in to this market where you have free and commodity services and you have established vendors who have a chokehold on some very large clients?
Well, this is an excellent question. I think these vendors, the one you mentioned, Microsoft, IBM, etc., they're very defensive. They're trying to sort of lock all the others, out and avoid try to kill the competition. But and then there's the open source, and the open source is like serving the long tail of the market, and also serving the companies that have the engineering muscle to take the code and integrate it and maintaining the code current. We're sort of the open big guys in a sense, that we're trying to work in a very open environment, work with legacy systems, work with connectors, work with everything, and be a neutral platform to implement applications. So we can work with IBM, we can work with Microsoft, we can work with all these guys, but we're not exclusive in a way. And also we provide support and very high-end infrastructure for very high-end mission-critical applications. And I don't think open source is yet at the in the development stage where it can provide this level of service support, guarantee, scalability, the thing that comes with our platform. So I think that's where we fit.
Well, it sounds like you're going to have a very, very exciting 2011. And once again, I want to thank you for taking time to talk with me. I'm Steve Arnold, and this concludes another Beyond Search interview.